Hello, how's it going? This is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports. How's everybody doing today? Uh, I know there's a lot of other shows going on today, and a lot of other, heck, um, I just had to get on. I'm sorry I could not get on last night. I was just too wiped out. Um, but hey, this is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports. One of the things that I want to talk about today is, do the owners, do the announcers, do they actually get what the fans want? Here, one day, this being the second day of the legal tampering and stuff like that. We look at it, we see, it's allowed and that, but you know, Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta, great. I mean, it's like, we don't need to deal with him anymore and stuff like that. But from hearing Atlanta fans, uh, Atlanta fans are saying they're not really excited because he will make them better, but he will not make them the best. What the fans actually want, what the Detroit Lions fans actually want, what the fans from Chicago Bears, from uh, Packers, anywhere, what they want is they want the promised land. They want to be, we want to be the, want to be in the Super Bowl. We don't want to only be Super Bowl. Uh, we don't want to be better. We want to be the best. We want our team to have that time to shine. You know, um, this is what we want. I mean, yes, congratulations, Detroit Lions. You made it all the way up to the NFC Championship last year. Great, great, great. Love it. I I love the fact you made it to the NFC Championship. 100% love that. But you know what? I've seen that before. I've seen that before. Don't stop. Don't stop there. Don't let the your car run out of gas there, is what I'm saying. One of the reasons, you know, um, to tie what I'm saying together and why I brought up Kirk Cousins, Atlanta, and stuff like that at first, right now. I was listening to, NFL Network and that before I got on here. And, you know, they were telling about, oh, yeah, Kirk Cousins is going to make them relevant, going to make Atlanta relevant, you know. But the fans were not reacting because they have had relevant before. They want to make it to the promised land. You know, $180 million or whatever it was. I don't have all the numbers right here or anything like that. That Cousins signed for. But uh, we want you know this gamble pays off for the Atlanta fans, for the Atlanta team, if they make it to the Super Bowl, if they win a Super Bowl. That's what counts. You know, that's what you're striving for. You know, you got to replace. If Buffalo's feeling it now, where they had to get under the cap. I don't know how Green Bay does it every year. I really don't. I really do not know how Green Bay always seems to, be able to bring in the people and stuff like that, every week or every year. You know, uh, they don't seem to ever be in salary cap hell. You know, they don't. You know, is a player that will make your team better, but not make him the best, and could end up in the long run keeping out because you gotta go ahead and pay that much more money for him. Uh, is it worth it? Is he worth that kind of money? You know, uh, we all heard the rumors before. Where Minnesota was talking about, for years. They've been talking about, is Kirk Cousins the one to take Minnesota to the promised land, to take him to the Super Bowl? He has, he hasn't excelled past that one playoff win and stuff like that. You know, um, that's what. But was it the team or was it him? I mean, we seen where where even without Cousins, they had a they had a good enough offense to go ahead and still win some games. You know. Now you want to know what team gets it? I think gets what the fans want because they want it too. The team that gets it is the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, because they already have a great offensive line. They have they had a they have one of the best offensive lines around. Okay, um, that ranked the best at one time. But they brought in Maniac to go ahead and make their team better, to go ahead and bring it up a notch. You know, they're bringing in the pieces that's gonna help them get back to the promised land. And what I'm saying is in the 2 days of free agency that we have seen so far, and this day is not near from over. Uh, who knows what the Lions will do? It looks like the Lions are going to go ahead and go ahead and probably wait to sign a free agent once the once we see who we get in the drafts. We knew the Lions last year, but will they do it? One of the criticisms of the Lions, you know, um, of Brad Holmes during last year's free agency that was in the season was we knew where the Lions knew where they were weak, or actually it was even in the trade deadline. Excuse me. It, we they did nothing to go ahead and in the to go ahead and make their defense better. A lot of people wanted to see their defense. This, trading with 49ers for edge rusher. Yeah, that's going to help the Lions. It is. You know, definitely. It's going to help the Lions. It's going to bring. And the Lions really didn't give up much. 2 6-round picks, and they get a third round this year or something like that, or next year. I didn't read all the details, and sorry, I really didn't have time. But it's just, you look at it, isn't going to be enough. Lions still need to keep bolstering up the offensive line. We lost Jonah Jackson. We need to replace him. We need to keep that offense strong too. We need to we just need. Everybody's crying about the Lions not actually giving Goff his extension yet. At least a lot of people are, not everybody, but signing him for a major deal and stuff like that. Do you want him to get a Cousins deal? A deal that locks him in for 4 years, and where we gotta end up later on cutting people, or maybe not being able to sign the free agents around him because we give him so much money. When you're at the point of like the Rams were a couple years ago, or three years ago, when we traded Stafford to the Rams, he was one of the final pieces for the Rams. He was one of the ones that they knew could get him, could get them to win the Super Bowl. So that's why, and I do think that the Rams thought at that point in time that that it would be more than one Super Bowl, and it's still maybe. Who knows what Stafford got left in the tank, But if a lot of people will go ahead and they looked at what's going on in LA and stuff like that. If you look at since McVay's been there, the Rams have been to 2 Super Bowl, won one, lost one. So, and some may say, hey, it was kind of luck because that drop pass, or if Stafford almost got the interception, and that was a thing that kind of kept them in. If Stafford would, if that interception would have been there, then the Rams wouldn't have gotten that Super Bowl or won that Super Bowl. But if you look at it, the Rams knew when to use their free agent money, right? They got them to the promised land. Twice within recent years. Rams have been to Super Bowl before that. Have won Super Bowls before that. All right. But it's all about going to Super Bowl. It's all about going to Super Bowl. That's what it is. It's all about it. So, But I hope everybody's doing good. Please make sure you guys comment in the chat. I appreciate anybody coming in. If anybody wants to hop in, you're more than welcome. One of the things that we have seen with the with free agency this year is running backs in the NFC North are kind of switching around. DeAndre Swift is back, of course, in the NFC North. I think one of the reasons Chicago went ahead and got DeAndre Swift, they knew that. They knew what he did with the Lions. They knew what he did with the with Philadelphia last year. So they got him. They paid him. But one of the reasons they got him was they want to get 2 wins off the Lions. Because when you're cut from a team or traded from a team, you seem to play harder against that team in the playoffs. Or when you play them. So that's one of the reasons Chicago got him. Who knows? One of the gambles about DeAndre Swift is we know in Detroit, one of the reasons he's not with us anymore is he's injury prone. He's been injury prone. So who knows, he could go in there after a couple games, get injured. That's it. I do think that the Lions still got the better running backs. The Bears got Justin Fields and stuff like that too. So it just gives them an element. We know DeAndre Swift can go ahead and actually catch the ball too. So I'm sure they're planning on using him that way. And we don't know what the Bears are going to do is. There's been rumors they're going to keep Fields. They're still talking. They're still talking. They might trade him. They might get Caleb Williams and Justin Fields on the same team. Is that oil and water? Is it? When you got your replacement right behind you, if ready to step in, you got your replacement that's going to take your job. You can't, it kind of messes with your mind too. Chicago Bears are, if they draft Caleb Williams in the first pick overall, they plan he's going to be that man. He's going to be the man in a couple of years. He's going to be maybe this year, late, maybe next year. So, you got Fields' replacement there. Now, to be honest, to be fair to Fields, he didn't have that option. To wait, to set back, to go ahead and learn. Not that Caleb Williams is going to teach, or not that Fields is going to teach Caleb Williams anything. It's just Is Williams ready? I mean, first year quarterbacks. You know, you don't have a lot of your first year success with the quarterbacks that start right off the bat. You don't have it. Usually they go. Yeah, I mean, C.J. Stroud's man, that was something though. He was one of the ones that had success right off the bat that ended up uh, because the college game is very different from the NFL game. Most it's a faster game. Uh, your throws are differently better. You got to have you know if you're a receiver, you got you gotta have 2 feet in bounds. One foot in bounds isn't gonna get you that reception, and that also that also keeps you in the game. Um, but it's technique too. Getting you're used to your wide receivers you had on your team that you had in college. You have a whole different team. You have a whole you need to get acclimated to that, to the system, to the players. You need to get your timing down. You need to get everything like that going too. But yeah, welcome. This is Tim's Maniac Sports. Uh, I know I'm just rambling on, but comments are really welcome. Uh, want to thank everybody that came in. Uh, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Uh, I, I want to see the Lions do more in free agency, though. I want to see them pick up, make it better, make their team better. But I don't want to have them throw away everything too. You know, it isn't worth it to go ahead and overpay for a free agent that may not get you to that promised line too. That where you need to cut people later on because eventually the bills all come due. At some point in time, you know, you the salary cap is not like the national debt where you can just go ahead and go to the NFL and say, okay, we need a bigger cap because my team's going to be over the cap. It isn't like you know it isn't like the natural debt where they can go ahead and go to Congress. President can go ahead and go to Congress and say, hey, we need more money to keep the government running and stuff like that too. So you got to live within your salary cap. It's just the way it is. But this is Tim's Maniac Sports. I think for now I'm gonna just kind of close this show down. And I'm not getting any real response or anything. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who's listening to me on Twitter. I'm going to try to do a show when I get home tonight too. Hopefully there is some more Lions news. We want to see that. And we want to see the Lions be better. So I was kind of okay. According to the latest update from ESPN News and NFL, The Detroit Lions have statistically boosted their defensive by acquiring talent cornerback Carlin Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in exchange for a 2024 third-round pick. In addition to Davis, the Lions will receive the Buccaneers. Okay, so I had it back. So they get a third-round pick this year. The Lions get Davis. Uh, the Buccaneers will receive. Okay, also receive the Buccaneers 24th and 25th sixth-round pick, adding significant value to the trade. So we give them a third-round pick, our third-round pick, and then we get their sixth-round pick both this year and next year. So that and one thing Brad Holmes has been good at is building through the draft. Building through the draft. Who's going to be left at that point? Is Brad Holmes going to be good in finding the diamonds in the rough with those two sixth-round picks? We all know how valuable picks can be, in their draft. And now, of course, of course, you have your you have your third, the you don't always get lucky and get like a Brock Purdy at the last pick in the draft. So by getting those the two picks, sixth-round picks, they could or could not pan out. Who knows? They could be still. They could still need a more development. Is what I'm saying. So we will see. We will see how this trade really works out. Um, it let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is going to help get the Lions to the promised land? What do I mean by the promised land? The Super Bowl. Because this is what every every fan in the NFL basically wants to see. Unless you're just more about the betting. I mean, there's some, and those, to me, if you're just in it for the betting, you're not in it for the winning. For you're okay. Let me clarify that. All right, and what I mean by that, there are fans that are a fan of the team, but they're more a fan of money. Okay, so they'll go ahead and they'll bet more against their team because they care more about and I mean that's just natural. You're just gonna care, and there's just some people that end up becoming fans of the NFL just because of the betting. They may not have a real team that they root for, you know, and then there's fans that are may not be a fan of a team per se, but there are fans that are fans of quarterbacks. You know, yeah, I know two of them that are fan. That they were fan of. Like there was fan of fans of Brady, and no matter where Brady went, they're gonna follow him because they respect what they can do. What what they're not particularly a fan of like the Patriots. They're a fan of that player. So they'll go ahead and root for whatever team that player goes to. Part of it is the respect and the ability of that player. You know, but yeah, I am going to actually end this show right now. Thank you guys. Uh, Feel free to hit me up anytime. This is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports. You guys all have a good day. Happy Tuesday. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe I'll break in again sometime and give like another news break. It's a bit hard to do when I'm at work, and I did that one yesterday right before, right when I got to work, and I only had a couple minutes to spare at that time. So that only allowed me, a couple minutes and that was the one that I did when about DeAndre Swift going to, you know, our rivals. And it's kind of is a poetic justice to the you Chicago Bears fans because we took David Montgomery um, last year, you know, so you guys go ahead and get Swifty this year, or was it just that Swifty was free available stuff like that? But this is Maniac Tim with Maniac Sports signing off. You guys all have a great day. Um, let's just hope the Lions can go ahead and make a splash again next year. Um, Take care, everybody. And this is Maniac Tim over and out.